maybe let's say someone just posted something and people are commenting. You will even see someone, maybe a 12-year-old boy insulting a 35-year-old man or a 40-year-old man. So guys, in this video, I want to talk about the positive sides of social media. You know, I know a lot of videos, a lot of documentaries, a lot of articles, everything is just talking about the negative side of social media, how it affects you as a person, blah blah blah. But no, I mean, I want to look at it the other way. I want to talk about the benefits and how it can also help you to maybe get a scholarship if that's what you're interested in, or maybe make very should I say lifelong friends, stuff like that. Yeah, so if you're interested in this topic, sit back and enjoy. Welcome back to the channel, guys. The way I actually look at social media, I look at it as one of the wonders of the world. This is just something that it has revolutionized the way information is being spread. Like, I mean, it's so amazing. So like, if you were born maybe, let's say, in the 80s or in the 90s like me, you will know that during that time, I mean, those of us who were born in Africa, it was more difficult to get information. For example, those days, the only way you can get information is maybe by newspaper or radio or maybe television, stuff like that. So there may be key things happening around the world that you may not really know because there is just no way you can know those stuffs, unless maybe someone tells you. So it's very, very difficult to get information back in the days. When I say back in the days, I don't mean like, just back in the days, maybe like, let's say, 25 years ago, 30 years ago, 35 years ago, stuff like that, Yeah, so it was actually more difficult to get. But look at what social media has done. When I just sit down and think about the wonders of social media makes information dissemination so easy. I mean, guys, think about it. Like when we were doing social studies in primary school, they were teaching us about how people used to pass information in the olden days. Like they'll come and start using gong, the other one, they say smoke signals and stuff like that, letter writing, all those stuffs. But you see, those things are, when you look at what we have now, you see that those things aren't even as efficient, because when you use that gong stuff, how far is the sound of the gong? It's not even like the person will have to shout now after hitting the gong. How many people are going to hear that stuff, But here we have something that, if maybe let's say there is an ongoing job opportunity now, maybe in US, it is anywhere you are in the world, you will know about it, even without anyone telling you. I mean, how amazing is that? That is something I feel that we can use positively, and it will affect our life choices and stuff, So social media to me is not just all about posting pictures. It's a very, very important platform. It keeps you informed, and I don't need to tell you that there is nothing as important as information. There is nothing as important as information, because if you can have like, you may be qualified, very, very qualified for something, and you may be very, very good, just because you don't know about maybe an existing opportunity or something that could have favored you. You won't be able to get that stuff, and it's terrible. So like, I think when it comes to information, social media has done the best job. I mean, everyone has a smartphone now. Almost everyone has a smartphone now. I mean, except some people and places due to one or two things. But at least they say majority of the population, we have smartphones now. So it's very, very easy for you to access information. Social media doesn't just end on Facebook and Instagram. There are other ones like LinkedIn. I always like talking about LinkedIn. LinkedIn is a place where people share opportunities. So nothing stops you from always being on this kind of social media platforms, to be looking out for opportunities, because it's like you couldn't have gotten this information in a better way. Just imagine, because when I think about like the way the people advertise scholarships these days and the way we just apply easily, I start thinking of people who got scholarship maybe in the 80s, when it was very, very difficult to. Some of these guys, they had to always be looking at newspapers, maybe writing letters, very, very difficult stuff, because it's only the ones that was advertised on the newspaper that you're going to see. Maybe let's say the newspaper is just focused on maybe US based funding. So you only see the ones the newspaper even advertised. Let's say they just advertised 2 or 3. But now we can see hundreds of them just by searching. Just by searching. So I think we don't give enough credit to the positive impact of social media in our lives today. And I mean, it's something that should be celebrated. It's something that should be celebrated. I mean, there are negative parts of it, but that is not what I want to talk about. I want to talk about the positive sides of social media and how we can use it to influence our life choices, to influence the decisions we take, and to get good information. Now, another thing when it comes to social media that I also marvel at is that it has created a world where anyone can talk to anyone. This is a very, very key statement. Anyone can talk to anyone now. Because like in the past, like people who were also born in those times, you know what it means, let's say a rich person or a poor person having access to a rich person. It's not always that easy. It's not always that easy because, of course, the rich person, he has his routine, he has how he rolls and stuff like that. So it's not easy for you as a poor person to. But now, when you go to social media, maybe let's say someone just posted something and people are commenting, you will even see someone, maybe a 12-year-old boy, insulting a 35-year-old man or a 40-year-old man. These are the kind of things you see. I mean, these are bad stuff. I'm not encouraging it, but I'm just trying to say that you have the opportunity to interact with anybody, like literally anybody who is maybe on that platform. So why don't you use it for good? Other than maybe insulting people online, try to look out how you can get connected, how you can find a common goal that maybe you share with this particular person and do nice stuffs. So it's not just all about, oh, someone posted this and people are commenting. A lot of people who comment on social media are not there. They are people who you actually need in life. Yeah, you are always praying, oh God, bless me. Yeah. God will bless you through someone, But when you go online, you only the only thing you know is to be insulting people online. And once they post something and someone says something, you want to insult the person, you don't even take it easy. You just that's very bad. Because most of those guys you're insulting, if you see them real life, you won't even be able to talk to them. That's just how it is. But because social media is such a community that like anybody can say anything, anybody can talk to anyone, of course it's virtual, so no one is seeing you. So people try to abuse it, but I'm trying to say, instead of abusing it, why don't you use it positively? Like, for example, now in my past videos I talk about lecturers who have funding and they need to maybe approach them, interact with them, build friendship with them, maybe using the formal platform, that's emailing back and forth. But do you know that it's actually easier if you connect with the person on a more, shall I say, non-official method like social media? It's possible. Like you guys, maybe you chat, let's say you just talk about 1 or 2 things on social media, LinkedIn, from there you guys migrate to Facebook, from there you migrate to WhatsApp. You're just chilling, you are talking, oh, how is your country? How is the weather there? Before you know, you are like online friends. Just like that. It's not going to be easy for the person, maybe for you. When you tell the person, oh, look at what I want to do, you see that the attention the person will give you, it's not the same attention he will give to someone who just sent a cold email. So this video is all about you knowing that there is serious potential in social media. There is serious stuff we can actually do with it, and if you use it positively, I tell you, there is like nothing you can't achieve. I was thinking about it the other day. I was like, the number of people we see, I mean currently, the number of people we see, it's over 100 times larger than the number of people an emperor 200, 300 years ago can see. Yeah, because an emperor 200, 300 years ago, of course, he's just only in he's in his kingdom. A king or an emperor, he's in his kingdom. He's only seeing the people that have to maybe come to him and stuff. But now, if you're in Nigeria, you can see someone who is in US. You can see someone you can see someone who is in Australia, no matter the distance. If you're in Australia, you can see someone who is in Indonesia. You can see someone who is in China. So it is just like it's very small, is a big word, but it has been localized now. It's now small. You can chat from Nigeria, you can just send someone a message in China within seconds. Just think about how difficult these things were in the past, when for you to make international calls, people who were born in the 80s, you know what I'm saying now. You know how difficult these things were, or maybe when we used to rely on letter writing for you to know maybe if your friend is okay, or maybe if your family member who traveled abroad is okay. For now, if I just want to see my people now, my family, just one click of the button and seeing them. That's it. Just imagine that. So instead of us using social media negatively, because of course there are a lot of negative parts of social media which I don't want to dwell on, we can use it, to do better things, to make better connections, to meet people who maybe it would have been almost impossible to meet. We use it to meet people, build very strong friendships, build very strong connections. Let me tell you guys something. I know that I'm aware of the fact that on social media there are a lot of maybe people who, I don't want to use the word scammers, but the point I'm just trying to make is that some of the best people I've met was actually off social media. So I've also met crazy people there, but it's just, you just have to try your best to sieve these guys. But the most important thing is that there is actually an opportunity to get what you want on a platter. So why don't you take advantage of this opportunity? So now, another benefit I want to dwell on is the fact that social media gives us the chance to sample people's opinion in a particular subject matter. Let's say someone can post something online and say, oh, blah 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 blah, this certain happened in my marriage, or something happened in my business. How, just someone just ask a question. You see people giving you advice, giving advice based on their own personal experiences. Some people very genuine advice. Just think of having maybe 200 comments, 300 comments. You have to sift through all these comments. If you are someone who is in a similar position, you have to sift through all these comments, and then you will definitely see one that you feel like, oh yeah, this person is making sense. Assuming there was no social media, if you have that same problem, you have to go and tell someone, and then just hear only one person's opinion. You tell another person, you only hear one person's opinion. You tell another person, you only hear one person's opinion. And of course, human beings, nobody will want to come and share his problem to like 100 people. But we have a platform where someone can just say, oh, I'm anonymous, you just share that problem. And a lot of people will contribute suggestions. You see suggestions, you see comments, you see people's advice, you see people giving you advice based on experience. I mean, it's a very, very valuable stuff that I can't even begin to like. Okay, there's this movie this Korean movie I watch. So what they do is that when there is an issue, the emperor will try to sample people's opinion. Maybe there will be like 6 or 7 people there. Then after sampling the opinions, he will not take his decision. It's very, very important to sample those people's opinions so that you will hear what they have to say, and it will also maybe inform you. You will be well informed, before you take the final decision. But now we have a platform where we can hear thousands of people's opinions, and it's not just people in one part of the world. You can hear people's opinions of different parts of the world, different walks of life, different experiences. So I think it's a very, very valuable stuff, that you can just get people's opinions, maybe even by being anonymous. People just say this stuff, then you use it and make informed decisions in your own stuff. Now, another point I want to dwell on is that maybe business. So people who are also into businesses, like maybe selling stuffs, I understand the difficulty of maybe marketing things online, but the mere fact that these things are now possible is just something that I think it should be celebrated. Don't get me wrong, I'm not saying that once you go on social media, everything becomes so simple. I understand it's a crazy place altogether, but the possibility of these things happening in our lifetimes is just so amazing. And I feel that if we can try our best to sieve out the rubbish, or to sieve out maybe unwanted information, and focus on something that try to focus on our goals, it's going to be much more easier using social media for maybe bettering our lives. So yeah, I just had this feeling to talk about the positive impacts of social media, because when I just see a lot of videos talking about the negative, I'm like, No, we don't just have to keep painting this thing negative, negative. It's not true. There are a lot of positive things that can be done via social media, a lot of things. So take your time, do what you have to do, but just know that social media is like a wonder of the world. Okay? Yeah, so if you love this video, please like, comment, and subscribe. And I'll see you guys next week. And I love you guys. Bye bye.